After the previous campaign where you guys managed to kick the living crap out of the Goblin Queen and escaped her torture island after Vash was horribly crippled and is still crippled, basically you guys managed to find a ship and you are now sailing to the mainland. Now you guys are sailing north and you're coming towards land, and basically you're going towards the town of Flatstone, which is on the southern shore of the continent. As you are doing so, however, Vash, I want you to roll a d20 for me, and I'm going to roll a d20 as well. Oh, dear God. Okay. Vash, you feel one of your crippled legs appears to be moving, and you are not moving it. It's moving on its own, and it's repeatedly kicking you in the ass. Now it's going to stop randomly, and Raka, you're also going to have to roll a d20. Raka, kind of the same thing that happened with Vash. Like, your arm appears to, like, act on its own and start punching you in the side for a second, and then it stops. Cham, you're also going to have to roll a d20. Oh my God! You already got a 20!
Fucking hell, he's not allowed to roll anymore.
Okay, so this is how this is gonna go. Inside of your head, you have your normal voice, and then suddenly you hear a different voice. And it's a voice that you remember. And it's a voice that calls itself Dickstab. As you sit there, keep in mind, nobody else can hear this other than, actually, Raka. Can you have telepathy with him when you're outside of bear form?
Whenever. It's a Ghostwise halfling trait.
You actually should be able to hear this too if you're concentrating hard enough. You can do a perception roll to see if you notice this.
Holy shit!
Nope. You're busy doing something else right now. You're like picking your toenail or something. Basically, Cham, what happens is inside your head you hear Dickstab's voice talking to you, and you're not 100% sure how to deal with it, but you do hear the voice, and it says, "God damn it! Would one of you idiots just let me talk? Can't a dead goblin get something around here? Who am I talking to? How do I get out of here?"
Have you ever been fucked by a lion before?
What? Please, God, let me out. Come on! I need your help!
What are you asking for?
I know where the queen stored a massive treasure, and I can lead you to it, but you need to bring me back to life.
So you want me to bring back a dead goblin just for some treasure? By the queen bitch herself.
It's a good treasure. We're talking priceless jewels, gems, things worth tens of thousands of gold.
So my question is, if it's supposed to be priceless, why is it going to be 1,000 when it's supposed to be priceless? You see what I'm going at?
Look, do you want thousands of gold, or do you want to jerk me around inside your brain? Alright, so are you going to turn down his offer and just trap him in your brain?
Look, Dickstab, I like you, but here's the thing. How the fuck are we going to bring you back to life? You got any idea where we can bring you?
Yes! Look, get to the shore, and I can lead you to where I can find a goblin shaman who can bring me back to life. The only thing I need is my old body, which your ogre picked up for his lunch, so please do not let him eat my corpse.
Well, here's the thing. Do you care what we do with your body right now? As long as it's not destroyed.
I mind a bit.
So while he said that, I'm going to unzip my pants.
Keep in mind, you're doing this to everybody else around you who has no idea that you're talking to somebody in your head. You're doing this physically in real life as well. So as you're unzipping yourself, Lumpy takes out a bag from next to him and reaches inside. He then proceeds to pull out the corpse of Dickstab, still impaled on the sword. God damn it! Don't let him eat my body!
Lumpy, give me the body. I need it. I want it.
This lunch.
I'll give you another body, okay?
Okay. Here, Spot.
I just need it.
Okay, right. Spot, here. He hands you the short sword with Dickstab's body on it. Almost. It's kind of like a shish kebab.
All right, so he give it to me. I'm gonna go to Pound Town.
You're going to have sex with the corpse.
Yes.
Roll. Get
Somewhere
it over with.
the Goblin Queen laughs uncontrollably and yells, "Fuck you, Dickstab."
It's one of those things that you thought you were going to like a lot more when you started, but about halfway through, you're kind of sick of it.
I look to Bash's character, I just see him like just licking his lips, just looking at the body.
God. After all this has happened, you guys are now pulling into port. So you were in the town of Flatstone, and Dickstab has relayed the message in your brain that there is a wizard in this outside of this town, and his name is Fungus. and that wizard is going to be able to bring him back to life. So he relays that information to Vash and Raka and Lumpy, so all you guys are on the same page now. The only problem is Dickstab does not know his exact location. He only knows that he's based around this general area from basically messengers and stuff that he knows that have come out of this area to communicate between him and the Queen. So you might need to ask around town a little bit to find it.
I'm going to go up to like a guard. He should know like stuff around town, around like the outskirts of town.
All right, you do have a guard that meets you at the ship because it is a dock, so they do have a harbor master and stuff. So there is a guard there, so you can talk to him.
I'm looking for a goblin in fungus.
Goblins? There used to be a little goblin camp outside of town. Mercenaries came through a little while ago, killed a few of them, drove them deeper into the woods. Here, if you really want something, we'll pay you for their scalps.
I'm gonna gently take Dickstab's scalp.
So you're gonna take a knife and you're gonna cut off a scalp? Roll a dexterity roll to do that. You rolled a high enough, you rolled a 17. Okay, so you cut off Dickstab's corpse's scalp, which he's also screaming at you from inside your brain to stop mutilating his body. Now you can hand that scalp over to the guard, which he will pay you 10 gold.
I'm gonna use persuade. I'm gonna persuade him.
To do what? Pay you more?
Pay me triple.
Okay, roll. Okay, and that's a plus 10, right? So it's a 21. Probably not going to beat that from the guard, but just for shits and giggles. So the guard agrees to pay you triple. He gives you 30 gold for the scalp because he believes that it's from some kind of rare goblin.
Then I wanted to persuade him again to give me back the scalp.
Okay, I'm gonna say he left after he got his gold and went on his way as you were counting the gold to make sure it was all there. So he's no longer there. Now you guys can ask around and try and find out where this goblin shaman actually is.
My next question is, how the fuck is Vash gonna move around?
You have one of two ways of moving him around. Either Raka can turn into a bear and carry him, or Lumpy can just, pick him up and throw him over his shoulder and carry him that way.
Oh,
Or you can actually heal his legs.
Worm looks at Archduke Cockenshire and looks at his legs and says, "We need to cauterize the wound and produce flame."
Wait, what? He doesn't have open wounds? Are you still gonna do it?
No.
I'm gonna go up to Worm. I'm gonna whisper in his ears like, try and keep this guy crippled.
Yeah, actually keep me crippled. I like being backpacked around on men's backs.
Nope. You're not riding on my back, sir.
Oh god, Lumpy's gonna have to re-break his fucking legs, isn't he?
Yep.
5 health on his legs.
That is not enough to actually heal both of his legs. That's enough to heal like one of his legs most of the way. And what are you doing, champ? Persuading Lumpy to re-break his legs. You don't really need to roll for that at this point. You can just ask him to do it. Well, since Vash is right next to him, he only has one workable leg, so Lumpy is just going to concentrate on that and just smack his fist down on the good leg. So he's going to roll to hit. Roll to 10, since Vash doesn't know this is coming. That's going to hit, so I'm going to say that does 1d10 damage. So that healing that you just did to his leg is immediately countered by that, and his leg is rebroken, now worse than it was. And Vash is also now in extreme pain. Congratulations, Cham. You have somehow kept him crippled. At the same time, Dickstab is screaming from inside your brain, "Get my body back before you mutilate it to non-recognition!"
I'm gonna relay that to fucking the
Again, I think Raka, now that he knows that you have a voice inside your head, is actually actively psychically listening to you, so he heard that.
Hey, little Jimmy thing, come bring that little goblin body over here. I gotta take a shit. Open his mouth.
God damn it, man.
I can call it next.
You call next? That's just fine. You can have that. Hold on, I need some privacy though. I open the goblin's mouth and shit down his throat. Big stabber goblin guy.
And I'm right after.
You're gonna crap on him too.
Mm-hmm.
Both of you have Constitution rolls right now to see how bad this is. Oh God. Okay, yeah, no, you fill up his insides with shit. He's stuffed with it. It smells horrible. It smells worse than his decaying corpse already was starting to smell. And Dickstab is again freaking out inside of your brain and screaming at the top of his lungs that he wants to be reanimated and he wants all the crap cleaned out of him.
Now look at you, belly full of doo-doo.
I'm gonna pull out my lute and play that Deliverance song.
You guys are done defacing Dickstab's corpse. Are you going to You just have to go to the location and see if you can roll perception and find it. If you want transportation for Vash, you can do that. Or there's also a gnome engineer in the town that you can go to, and maybe he can fashion something for Vash.
I'm gonna go to the engineer because I want one of those baby vests that the parents wear for the baby, put it in front of the fucking body of the ogre.
Oh, you want it to fit Lumpy?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna have to bring Lumpy with you so he has the measurements. So Lumpy's gonna go with you to the gnome engineer. So you guys go up to the shop. As soon as you guys get there, the ogre kind of stands out in front. The gnome walks out and looks up at him, and then looks down at you, and then back up at the ogre, and then back down at you. Don't kill me.
I'm gonna in sign language. I'm gonna like baby vest for ogre.
So I'm gonna roll intelligence for him to see if he actually is able to interpret that. He does not.
I was gonna go with metal legs,
But
but
I
I like this idea better.
I want to be carried on Rocka's back. I like riding on Barry's back.
That's too bad. You're
You
not riding on
you
my
get
back.
the ogre apparently because they're not willing to let that, and Lumpy's okay with it. So telepathically tell him that they're here to murder him.
Oh, they are so here to kill you.
Are you trying to do that as like a persuasion thing to get him to do it?
Yeah.
Okay, then roll for that. You will get an advantage because you're doing it telepathically, and he's not going to realize it.
Oh, I got a nat 20 on the first roll. We're going with that one.
Oh, fuck. Okay, so you telepathically contact him and tell him that Cham and Lumpy are there to will kill him unless he does exactly what they say. And during this, you also telepathically let Cham and Lumpy know that you're doing this so they can play along. And this gnome is 100% hook, line, and sinker. You can ask him for anything and he will give it to you.
Hey, what's your sister's phone number?
I double that.
So all of you want his sister's phone number.
I think Cham's the only one who actually knows what we're looking for here from him.
So
Okay.
so I draw on the sand what I want, and I draw like a stick figure Lumpy with a very jacked up harness.
Okay, now that he has a visual representation, he kind of knows what you're talking about based on the hand movements earlier. So he's able to actually fasten it out of a lot of heavy studded leather, and it does act as a bit of armor. So it does kind of raise Lumpy's natural AC a little bit. It has a harness in the front that is built big enough to house Bash's massively overweight Colonel Sanders' body, and he can be carried with ease. So basically, he's kind of like a mobile gunner on an ogre now.
I'm gonna go up to the no. I'm gonna like use the intimidation, like bring your sister,
I don't have one.
bring your mother,
She's dead.
bring her corpse. So I rolled an 8, and I have a plus 5 for intimidation. I'm gonna tell him
Okay.
to pull down his pants.
Oh, it's a +5, so that's a 13. So I'm going to roll against that to see what he rolls. Okay, he rolls a 2. He bends over and drops his drawers.
I'm gonna get Lumpy.
Okay, you're going to have to convince Lumpy to do this because he doesn't really want to do this. And that's a +10, which means he's going to do it. All right, I'm going to roll to see if the gnome survives. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time we've lost somebody. No, he doesn't. That was a strength roll for Lumpy to see how bad this was going to get. And it's going to get really bad because he gets a +4, so that's an unnatural 20. The gnome is dead. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to get into gratuitous detail. The gnome is dead, and Lumpy feels ashamed.
I'm gonna loot his corpse into his fucking
There's not much left.
I'm gonna loot his shop. How much money does he have?
Keep in mind, this isn't broad daylight in the middle of a town. There are people that saw you do this.
I'm going to the people, and I'm gonna use persuasion just for them to forget all about this.
Roll for persuasion to persuade the crowd. So that's 23. All right, so you're able to convince the crowd that the reason why the gnome had to unfortunately die is that in reality he was actually fronting an elf slavery ring out of his basement, despite the fact that building actually doesn't have a basement. But they don't know that, so they all kind of walk away and spit on his corpse and say he was a piece of shit. You can do whatever you want to the shop. You can rate it if you want. There's 25 gold in the cash register. That's all that's really in there for money.
What all is there that we can use?
Nothing really. A lot of it is mechanical parts that you have no idea how to put together, and the stuff that is put together you have no idea how to install to make work.
Can I find something for Lumpy's cannon?
Roll perception. Oh, so that's a 10? Okay. You find a cannonball. So you can have him hang on to that and reload his cannon with it, because right now it is empty. You've killed the gnome, you've raided his shop of anything that's of use to you, and now Vash is thoroughly secured on Lumpy's chest, just like a newborn baby.
I want to look for a binky. But,
You find a barbell.
okay, I shoved that in his mouth.
So you're gonna hit him in the face with a barbell. Roll to hit. You rolled a 10, that hits. Roll 1d8 damage because you're hitting him in the face with a piece of metal. You're basically punching him with a mace. You rolled a 6, you broke his jaw. Now he can't talk right.
Well, first I want to use healing.
To heal his jaw.
Yeah, heal his jaw.
All right, roll to see how much you heal his jaw. You gotta hit at least 5 to heal it all the way where he can talk again. Okay, so you are able to heal his jaw all the way. So Vash, you can now talk normally again to other people without having your jaw halfway hanging off.
Can I use my fart?
If you want to, you can. You're just gonna flood the entire area with noxious gas.
Yeah.
And everybody's gonna have to roll to make sure they don't vomit. Okay, you flood the entire area around you with noxious gas. Every single person except for Lumpy, because he's up. Actually, Lumpy and Vash won't have to roll because they're actually going to be above where the gas settles. However, Raka and Cham, you guys will have to roll, and I will roll for the townspeople. So half the townspeople vomit and pass out. The other half are disgusted and attempting to run away from the epicenter of the stink cloud. Cham, you rolled a 1. You vomit and pass out. Okay, you're still doing okay. Worm is doing all right. He's not passing out from the stink, and he's still around. So, but Cham is unfortunately passed out in the puddle of his own vomit. Dickstab is also screaming at an unconscious Cham from inside of his brain, attempting to escape. And Dickstab is going to attempt to escape from Cham's unconscious brain. All right, he rolled a 12. Cham, you're gonna roll, but because you're unconscious, you're gonna take a -2. Fucking A. Dickstab tries his hardest to get out of your brain, but the walls are just a little too thick for his little goblin arms to claw their way through. So he is unfortunately not able to get out of your brain. So I think I'm gonna leave you guys for right now, for the time being, because Cham's gonna be passed out for, let's see how many hours. He's gonna be passed out for 3 hours.
Damn, what'd you do that for? You like shit yourself for some reason? Like, why? There was a perfectly good goblin. Why didn't you just shit down his neck like the rest of us?
And watching people puke from my noxious farty gas.
I'm from the southern parts of this place, man. There ain't no fart that can make me pass out.